Hey kids, Mr. Glenn here. Hope you're well. Now, unfortunately, my camera is broken, so you can't see me, but you should be able to hear me okay. We are going to go to a place called Makecode Arcade, and we're going to go to arcade.makecode.com. When we're here, we have to go and make sure that we can sign in with our school email account. Make sure you tick the box that says Remember Me, and we're going to go and sign in. When we sign in, now my computer might remember me, so it might have my email address at the top. It says I'm sort of already signed in. That's great. Then what we're going to do is just make sure that we have our little picture in the top right hand corner. There's a wait for the internet to come along. Come on, internet. Okie dokie. So I'm signed in here. It knows this is my school account. And in here, this is where we're going to make lots of games. This is one of my favorite game maker places on the internet. It's much, 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 much better than Scratch, in my opinion. And the reason I think it's better is because we have these things called skill maps. So we're going to go to the beginner skill map because we've never done this before. And there are 3 levels. If we look closely inside it, you can see that we can win some trophies. So we're going to start at the very top. Now, it should remember me from before. This is why we want to sign in, because it will remember all your progress as you move along. Now, at the top, you've got a jigsaw piece like this. And these jigsaw pieces allow us to go and get from stage to stage to stage until we can win a trophy at the end. So I'm going to go and take my webcam away from here so we can see the side. I'm going to go into here. Now, yours will say start. Mine says continue because it still knows what I'm doing. Okay, it still knows where I was before and where I got to. So I'm going to go and restart this one so it looks like yours. And it says restart. Are you sure? Yes. But you will have a go. Let's just say, would you like to start it? And you say yes. So it'll load up. And on the left-hand side, we're going to go and have a look at some very special pieces inside the page. Now, underneath here, you can see it's got the tutorial pieces underneath. But it says, get to know Arcade, Makecode Arcade. Are you ready to start making computer games? These tutorials will show you how to follow some tutorial prompts, find blocks in the toolbox, build code in the workspace, which is just here, and then we're going to run our project because we can go and play our games over here. However, if you get stuck, you don't need to worry. Just look for this box. It's called the Immersive Reader. It's got a book and a speaker. When you click on this, it takes you into a very special place that will read the page to you in any language. So if you are learning English and you want it in another language, it's going to make it easy for you. And click on the box that's got the book at the top here. We can change it to any language we want. So let's go and put it into something like Japanese. And then we click on the document, so it will change the whole document. And it will put it into Japanese for us. Then we can go and play it, and it will speak in the language that you got on your page. Okay, so I don't need that for just now, but you will see this a lot. Okay, I'm going to click OK. Here is the Immersive Reader button. So anything that's inside here, you can change into that language for you. Okay, let's have a look around the page to see what we've got. In our workspace, we've got some blocks, and they all go together like they do in Scratch, and they are all color coded. And you can see there is a little symbol next to each one too. So this one here is a controller, and this one here is a Sprites. When you see this tutorial page, you've got a light bulb that sometimes lights up and gives you a little cheat sheet. So I'm going to go next. This is the box where you'll find information for each step. Next. So in your workspace, the area you'll connect your code blocks to build your program is here. Click the splash block that's already in the workspace and change the words that are in there. So I'm going to go and maybe put a knock knock joke in here. Now, you can see that the light bulb is lit up. Let's go and click on the light bulb to give us a cheat sheet. And it will give you a hint. I like bananas. Okay, so I'm going to go and say, I like bananas. You can also add some extra words if you want to. So you can have a first sentence and then part of a second sentence too. I'm going to click next. Now, Immersive Reader, and now you can go and put some extra words in here so you can make a sentence. So we're going to go into the splash area. So we can go and have a look around to see where these pieces are. Splash. And we can go and put knock knock. Who's there? You're not sure? Click on the light bulb. Next. Now look at the symbols. This one here has got the forest or the trees. Find the set background color to something, block and snap it to the top of the start on start container already in the workspace. So here's my on start container. I'm looking for the tree, which is the scene, and then I'll go and get my set background color. And you can see there's got like a little gap in here. This gap means this piece over here. And they probably want us to go and choose a color. Let's go and choose a color. I'll choose orange. And you'll notice that down here, it will probably change as well. So it gives you a live view of your game. If you're not sure, click on the light bulb and you can see what to do and what your blocks are going to look like. Next. Now this is where things get a little bit strange. Every rule has an exception, so let's look at the block that doesn't match its category. The set my sprite to sprite something of kind player block is red, but it lives in the sprites because we're talking about sprites, the little characters. So we have to go into the sprites and we have to find the set my sprite to that little box sprite of kind player. So we're going to go and pop that in there. Let's see if we're correct. And we have to go and see with the light bulb to see where that actually goes. Now then, when we click on the grey box, we can go and create our sprites. This is the best bit about Makecode. We can go and create any sprite we want. And there are hundreds of them. Because if we look at the top here, we've got these little tabs. We've got a gallery tab. How many sprites do we have? So many. And sometimes they give you ones called My Assets as well. Okay, so this is where when you draw them, sometimes they'll give you some assets or you go and make them in the editor. So you can go and choose any character we want. And we can also go and paint them. So we've got all our little paint tools over here. We've got an eraser and a fill tool and line and some circles and what have you. And you've got different colors and we can go and color these in however we like. When you're done, hit done. And that's my character. And it will live here. So we're nearly at the end of this introduction before you go and have a go yourselves. I'm going to go next because inside here, this is where we start to make things come alive inside the controller box. So we have an A button to press as well because we have a little game console. So we're going to make something happen when we hit the A button. Let's go and see if we're correct. Yes. And we want our sprite to do something when we click the A button. And where is the A button, I wonder? Our A button is in our game controller here. We have our A, B buttons in our little controller, in our little console. And we have this character, and we're going to make it do things when we click the A button. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to let you have a go yourself to make the spray effect and see what happens when you create this here. There are different types of effects in here. This one is confetti, but the one they're talking about here has a spray effect. But we can go and play around and experiment to see what our A button is going to do. Right, that's it for this introduction. I'm going to leave you to see what you can make in the last 4 parts of the instructions. Remember, if you're stuck and you're not sure what to do, click on the Immersive Reader button. As always, good luck.